Hey guys, my name is Juan. I am just one reader, and today I'm gonna do the book Courtship Tag. I saw Izzie at Izzie Officially do this tag just a couple of minutes ago, and I loved it. I think it was a great, original, very creative, and just really interesting tag. And as I saw her video, which I will link down below in the description box, I started thinking of the books that I would choose, and I was like, Izzie, I immediately need to do this tag right now. So let's get right on to it. So the first question is, Initial Attraction, a book you bought because of the cover. And for this one, I actually chose 4 books. I'm sorry, by the way, I didn't choose just one book for each question, so I'm kind of cheating, but oh well. So I chose 4 books that I just saw the covers and I was immediately in love with, and I was like, I need to have these books. So the first one is the most simple one, I guess. It's The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. I think this is really interesting. It has some hype on BookTube, and it's supposed to be really, really good. And on top of that, I love this cover. The next one that I have is incredibly beautiful, and it's The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Then another extremely beautiful cover, which by the way was one of the most expensive books that I've bought. It's The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell, and it's a beautiful hardback. And my new arrival, my new purchase is my new Pride and Honor. It's just like the jewel, the gem in my collection. It's the what's it called? Everyman's Library edition of Philip Pullman's Historic Materials. This is my favorite cover in the entire universe. I can safely say this is my most beautiful, the most beautiful book that I own. And it's my favorite trilogy of all time. This came on Amazon, and just look. It's like a proper library book. I love it. I love it. The second question is, First Impressions, a book you got because of the summary or synopsis. And so for this question, I chose 2 books. The first one is No One Is Here Except All of Us by Ramona Osbel. And I'm gonna read the synopsis for you. It says, in 1939, the residents of a tiny Romanian village fear the catastrophe sweeping Europe. But even with danger imminent in every direction, the territory of imagination is limitless. To survive, the villagers will reinvent the world. Destiny is unwritten. Time and history are forgotten, and for years there's boundless hope. But as the young girl comes of age, as the real world continues to unfold alongside the imagined one, she will learn the bigness of being alive as a daughter, as a mother, as a member of a tribe, and as a participant in history. Above all, she will discover the power in shaping one's own truths. And the other book I chose for this question is Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews, and the synopsis is shorter, and it says, they were a perfect family, golden and carefree, until a heartbreaking tragedy shattered their happiness. Now, for the sake of an inheritance that will ensure their future, the children must be kept hidden away out of sight, as if they never existed, kept on the top floor of their grandmother's vast mansion. Their loving mother assures them it will be just for a little while. But as brutal days swell into agonizing months and years, Kathy, Chris, and twins Corey and Carrie realize their survival is at the mercy of their cruel and superstitious grandmother, and this cramped and helpless world may be the only one they ever know. Question number 3. Sweet Talk. A book with great writing. And for this one, I chose probably my favorite book so far this year. It's actually a children's novel, but I found the writing to be so astonishingly beautiful and simple but elegant, elaborate but concise, funny but sad, just perfect for me. And that is Lauren Oliver's Liesel, and Poe. I never thought I would enjoy this book as much as I did. I just found it to be the most enchanting book ever. Number 4 is First Date, a first book in a series which made you want to pick up the rest of the series. And for this one, I chose The Amulet of Samarkand, which is the first book in the Bartimaeus trilogy by Jonathan Stroud. I am surprised to see how much this book is underrated and how it's just like not a lot of people know about this trilogy, and frankly it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time, particularly if you love Harry Potter, Artemis Fowl, YA fantasy, but very elegant, very smart, clever, incredibly funny. I mean, that you will just crack up on every page because the characters on this trilogy are so funny and so real in a way, and I just loved the first book. The first book was actually my favorite one in the entire trilogy, and I highly recommend them. Basically, the Bartimaeus trilogy is well, it takes place in London, but it's kind of a different London where there are magicians and sorcerers, and what these magicians and sorcerers do is they summon demons and spirits to do magic for them. And it's a really dark trilogy, and I cannot even explain it well enough. You just need to pick it up. Then we have question number 5, which is Late Night Phone Calls, a book that kept you up all night. And well, actually I read both these novels during the day, but I read them in one sitting. I could literally do nothing except read them. I was so obsessed with them. So I think it counts for this question, right? Right. The first one is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I loved everything about this book. I love how British it was, and just the mystery aspect of it. It's so plot driven, and I loved it. It's about a group of strangers who are summoned to this mysterious island in the middle of nowhere, and strangely enough, they start dying, and they have to figure out what's happening. So this one's really awesome. And the other one is Bird Box by Josh Malerman, and I also loved it. Well, I didn't love it. I think I gave it like 4 stars, and I gave And Then There Were None 4.5 out of 5. So Bird Box was really good. It was really engrossing. Just the ending for me was not the right ending at all, but it's great. I'm sure you know what Bird Box is about. It's pretty hyped up. I think it lived up to the hype in my experience. I just didn't find it to be perfect. Question number 6 is Always on My Mind, a book you could not stop thinking about. This one is so easy. Out of all the books that I've read this year, The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman is the book that has given me the biggest hangover. I keep coming back to it in my mind. I still think about it constantly. This book was just hauntingly beautiful and important and relevant and strange and weird, and just I cannot even explain why this book is what it is, or why it means what it means to me. It's just one of those reads that blow your mind and you keep coming back to them. Question number 7 is Getting Physical. A book which you love the way it feels, and for this I chose this beautiful hardback, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This is a big contender for this year's Man Booker Prize. I've heard nothing but incredible things about this novel. I want to read it in my next holiday vacations because it is quite a long book, but I love just how it has a very weird texture, and the letters are kind of embossed here, and I just love the way it feels. Question number 8 is Meeting the Parents, a book you would recommend to your friends and family. So I chose 3 books that I think are really great, that have really good writing qualities, and that I also think are incredibly accessible, And these are, well, because my friends and family don't really read that much or at all, these are three novels that I think are really easy to start with, and they are incredibly fun, incredibly engrossing. They will keep you up. They are fast. They are just really great books to recommend someone who doesn't typically read. So the first one is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I'm actually reading this currently, so I'm halfway there, but this is one that I would recommend for sure. Then the next one is Big Fish by Daniel Wallace. There's a movie adaptation, but the book is really, really, really great. And the third one is The Truth About the Harry Quebert Affair by Joel Dicker. Well, actually, a lot of people pronounce this last name Qbert, but it always sounded Quebert in my mind, like it's like a French last name. I don't know. But yeah, these are three novels that I would highly, highly recommend to people and my friends and family who don't typically read. Then we have question number 9, Thinking About the Future. A book or series that you could reread over and over and over again. And I chose the books that I reread pretty much every year. One of them is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, which is like the most obvious answer. And the second one, not so obvious, it's not a very well-known book, and it is my favorite book of all time. It's The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende, and this is like the best fantasy you will ever find. I loved it. So yeah, this is one that I would reread every year. And finally, number 10 is Share the Love. So here is where I guess really famous booktubers would tag people. I'm not gonna tag anyone. I don't even know who I would tag. So if you watch this video and you enjoyed it and you think about the options that you would choose for each question, just do the tag or let me know in the comments down below what your answers would be. So guys, that was it. That was the book Courtship Tag. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you on the next video.